Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we're going to go over why I think that people are still overlooking the Polkadot ecosystem and they're overlooking Kusama. Kusama and Polkadot, both of them together are going to be a powerful force in the cryptocurrency space. And there's a lot of opportunity here that I think people do not get. So what we're looking at here is the projects that are, this is just the first iteration of projects that are launching on Kusama, and these are the projects right here. The Korra, Bifrost, Kahala, Darwinia, Shiden, Mars, Smith, Crust, Sakura, Subgame, Moon River, and Genshiro. So we're going to go over each one of these projects, just go over some basics. I'll try to get through them pretty quickly. But what I'm going to try to emphasize here is the power of the Polkadot ecosystem, the power of the Kusama ecosystem, and how it's just being completely overlooked. And there's a lot of opportunity even to invest in these projects and to also invest in the Kusama token, the Polkadot token, and you're getting a lot of value, investment value compared it to other projects. So looking at Korra, this is the first project we're going to look at, and you get the CAR token. And what I did here is came up with a relative strength as to how much relative offering they are giving for participating in the crowd loan. So what you do is you lend your Kusama tokens to these projects. And you get to keep your tokens, okay? And you're not realizing in a tax event as well. So, there's going to be institutions that participate in this process as well. So it's likely Kusama and Polkadot are going to get large institutional players because they don't have a tax obligation for participating in these crowd loans. I suggest you look up crowd loans to get deeper in-depth knowledge of what that is. But basically what you're doing is you're putting up your tokens, like you have your Kusama tokens, and you put them into a lending contract. You're lending them to these projects. You can pick which projects of your choice, and this produces yield. And so that's the opportunity cost to you. So from a business word, if you're not aware of what opportunity cost, it simply means that you lose your interest payments for the amount that you give towards these projects. And it's like 12, 13, 14%. It's roughly around that number. And that interest payment that you would get for your Kusama goes to the project instead. So like if you were to stake in Crust, for instance, you put like 10 Kusama, you would be giving them one Kusama token. If it was 10%, you'd be giving them one Kusama token a year. And that would fund their operations. And in exchange for that, they give you some of their token. So Korra is giving CAR, Bifrost, BNC, Fala, Darwinius, Cringe, okay, etc. And you could see those tokens here. But let me just try to get through all these different projects. So, I came up with a relative strength, and I'm not going to go over each one, but you could see here, I'm going to list the most relative strength. And what that is it's the most tokens given to you for participating in giving your tokens. So you can see you get 12 Korra divided by the total gives you the relative amount that you would receive, and they're relative to each other. Because one Kusama equals 12 CAR. Now I'm sure these numbers are going to change, and so that's why I just put up a relative amount, because I know these numbers are going to change depending on who participates in these crowd loans. So just to give you an example, now I'm going to quickly go over what these individual projects do so you can get an idea of how powerful Kusama and Polkadot will be in the future, as well as picking the right project. These projects could give you 100x. Any one of these projects could be 100x or a 10x. They could give you significant returns because it's like little companies that are launching on top of Kusama or little companies that are launching on top of Polkadot. So Korra is a major DeFi application, okay? So decentralized finance. That is like the whole entire banking system, okay? And this is going to be on an interoperability layer. That's what Korra is going to bring to Kusama. We have Bifrost, which is going to unlock staking tokens for more DeFi. So you're going to lock up your tokens, and you're going to have access to a contract that's going to allow you to get a virtual version of your KSM or your DOT, and then you could participate in DeFi at Akala or somewhere else with that virtual token, and when it's the end of the loan period, you could turn in that token and get back your tokens. Okay, so that's allowing you to unlock some kind of yield applications, collateral, etc. So Bifrost is offering virtual units of what you put up for stake. Kohala, one of my favorite projects, is privacy. I think privacy is going to be a critical component. So it brings privacy to Kusama, and all the capabilities, smart contracts, etc. Darwinia is cross-chain bridge. They're going to be bringing a bridge. I know another one is ChainX. I don't see them here right now, but I know that they're working on it. And we have Shiden, which is multi-chain smart contracts with Ethereum virtual machine, bridge, and web assembly layer and layer 2 capabilities. So both of these are bridges, and so Darwinia is going to make smart contracts, and it has NFTs, as well as Shiden, which is going to do smart contracts. It has the Ethereum virtual machine, and it's that bridge capabilities. The Mars token is a cross-chain oracle. So this is the first oracle we're seeing right now is the Mars token. And the Polka Smith is bringing a production hub. What this is toolkits for developers. So this is a whole entire project focusing on a production hub, a factory for dApps, giving tools to developers. And then we have Crust, which is cloud computing. Like Amazon Web Services, Google, it will compete with them on the Kusama or Polkadot infrastructure. All of these projects are launching first on Kusama, and then they're going to move most of their focus to Polkadot eventually, okay? And the reason they're doing it on Kusama first is it is a place where they can quickly test their applications, okay? Now, let's look at Sakara, which is infrastructure. Once again, another developer services toolkits, a whole entire project built around bringing infrastructure, developer services, etc. Then we have Sub-Game Gamma, which is modules, for games. Once again, data, pay, modules are another. So when you're a developer, you have toolkits, right, that you could bring into your application, and this is already written code. And, a module could be an already written code packet that a developer can use, so they don't have to write it themselves. And that packet can be verified by other teams. It could have ratings. It could be verified by smart contract companies that say this is safe code. So it has some functionality, like, connecting two projects together, etc. So, it's just a module is a pre-built, predefined code that allows for you to connect, to bring in code packages so you don't have to code everything yourself. And they have these modules for games, cross-chain storage, APIs, data, etc. Okay, and now we're looking at Moonriver, which is basically bringing Ethereum to Polkadot. It's going to be just being able to do everything you could do on Ethereum, MetaMask, etc. will be able to come through Moonriver on Kusama and Moonbeam on Polkadot. All right, and then finally, Genshiro is cross-chain liquidity. So it's going to bring liquidity to Kusama, and there's going to be liquidity brought to Polkadot. So, even if there's a small number of users on Kusama at first, or even if there's a small number of users on Polkadot, it won't matter because you're going to have some entities that are going to bring in liquidity. And if they have liquidity, they're going to have the same use cases, whether there's a small amount of users or a big amount of users, if they give you access to this liquidity. Okay, so now just to summarize these projects, you can see here the list of projects. You can check it out at polka.js. You can see these crowd loans. I highly suggest participating, experimenting. But honestly, this is a powerful example of what's yet to come to Kusama and Polkadot. So as far as initial ratios, this just relative initial ratio value, the projects that were being the most generous with the amount of share of the entire platform that are as follows. So Crust was being the most generous. Then you have Polka Foundry, Genshiro, and Moonriver. So what those are, Crust was the cloud. Polka Foundry was, let's see here, Polka Foundry... that's Polka Smith in the Kusama situation is a production hub. It's the factory of dApps. So Crust, Polka Foundry, bringing toolkits to developers. Genshiro was the liquidity, and Moonriver is Ethereum on Kusama. The top The top participants, the projects with the most people lending to them, meaning the most community excitement as of right now, are Korra, which is DeFi, Koala Privacy, which, hey, this one is one of my favorites. Privacy is going to be a big one in the future, okay? And Moonriver is Polkadot, and Shiden is Plasma. It's scaling, application layers, smart contracts, Ethereum virtual machine, cloud, bridge, etc. Okay, so as far as Kusama services go, so guys, this is something I'm trying to highlight here by showing you all of this work that I put in to just create this video and to make sure I just create it. This is a basic summary. I didn't go even deeper. I could even go deeper, like investigating the teams, etc. Into each one of these. Each one of these could be a good investment. By the way, nothing here is investment advice, but for someone who is looking for 100xers, there might be some hidden in here. There might be a few 100xers hidden in here, right? So who knows? As far as Kusama goes, services. So you see the Kusama and Polkadot will have, when in like a month or two, Kusama will be capable of DeFi, developer tooling. By the way, I've highlighted the significance of this, and developer tooling really does make a massive difference for on-ramping developers. Privacy Kusama and Polkadot will have privacy, bridging, the capability of doing bridges, oracles, cloud, and liquidity. Okay, so it will have all of these capabilities will be on Kusama. All of these capabilities will be on Polkadot. I would like you to think about the value that is going to exist in that. And this is the very beginning of this technology being launched. So if we look at, let's see, coin, we're going to go to coin market cap, or CoinGecko should be better. Great. Get my internet connected. I'm just trying to get this thing connected so I could, trying to show, I'm going to try to show like some of the price action we've been seeing in the markets. Okay, so I'm not connected right now. I'll have to do this later. But basically, there's been projects that have performed extremely well from just having, for instance, on Luna, there's something called the Mirror Protocol, okay? And that thing just went 100% because of a version 2 being announced. And so, like, what I'm trying to show is this thing, Polkadot and Kusama, they're about the same market cap. They had, like, Kusama is a tiny little $2 billion market cap, and yet it's going to have every capability of every other blockchain relatively soon. So please try to think about this. I think the market is highly irrational. We're in like a bear market right now, and it's truly confusing to me because this right here, this Kusama and Polkadot are going to be some of the most powerful blockchain technology you've ever seen. And I've been in this space since 2016, and there's nothing quite like this. There's nothing like that captures this value, this growth, this exponential value creation, like anything like this I've ever seen before. If there's anything I'm trying to get out there, Kusama and Polkadot are some of the most amazing projects that I've ever seen. And the way they leverage, like all of these projects, you can invest in any particular project, but all you need is like a couple of them to succeed. And then that value will exist on top of the Kusama or Polkadot ecosystem. And this is just the beginning. Okay, so I'm just trying to get that idea out. All right, so please like and subscribe if you think this content is valuable, and I'll continue to follow this ecosystem and try to derive the patterns that equal to high ROI. All right, later, guys.